Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Ops Shop Show. I am your Operations Ninja Nikki, and today we're going to be talking about time blocking. Now, what is time blocking and why it is important? Time blocking is a strategy that has been talked about for many, many years on how can we create protected blocks of time in order to accomplish the things that we need to get done. Oftentimes, this can look like setting aside certain time slots on our calendar. It can be putting all tasks of a certain type together and doing them all at the same time. The idea behind this is, how do we get more effective? How do we get productive? And how do we make sure that everything that's on our to-do list actually gets done? Here's the thing though. Most of the time, the way you're taught to time block is wrong, and it's not helpful. So what happens when time blocking breaks? Well, it could look like having planned out your day according to your blocks, then all of a sudden something comes up. There's an emergency. A client needs you to deal with something right away. That can screw up your blocks for the rest of the day. Well, what happens if you don't give yourself enough time to complete a project? Maybe you thought it would only take you half an hour to do something, but really you need 3 hours. But the inverse could also be true. What happens if you give yourself 3 hours to do something and really you could have done it in 30 minutes, but according to the Pareto principle, which says tasks expand to the container you set, it takes you so much longer than it actually should because you're like, it's fine. I've blocked it out on my calendar. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what are some tools, what are some techniques we can use with regards to time blocking, specifically made for people like virtual assistants and online business managers, so that you can create a calendar that actually works. Okay, so let's take a look at a few different ways that time blocking is traditionally done. So let's imagine that this is your work week. And we've got your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So typically when we've designed time blocking, you'll go through and say, okay, Monday morning, this is going to be my CEO time. So I'm going to get caught up on like my business stuff. And then maybe Monday afternoon, I'm going to do client number 1. I'm going to do all their stuff and block it off. Tuesday morning, I'm going to do client 2. And then I'm going to do client 3, and then maybe Wednesday I'm gonna do like, this is my content morning where I'm gonna get like all of my social media and my content created, and then like, you know, I'll do this for client work, and so on and so on. So you kind of divide it up into, again, types of work or types of clients or groups of clients. The idea being, this is going to help me mainstream everything. I'm going to have focus time. It's going to be nice and organized. Now, again, the challenge is if one thing changes, then all of this doesn't work anymore, right? What happens if it's Monday morning and client number 3 sends you a message and says, the checkout link for our program that's open today is broken. Can you go fix it? Well, then you need to go fix it. And all of a sudden your CEO time is out of sync and it's totally chaotic. Or what happens if it's Tuesday morning and you're supposed to be working on client number 2 stuff, but you didn't finish the stuff that client 1 needed from the day before? Or maybe you normally meet with client number 1 on Mondays, and that's why you plan their work for Mondays, but then they come out to you and say, sorry, I'm just getting back from vacation. Can we move our check-in time to Wednesday instead? So this is a very rigid form of time blocking, which unfortunately doesn't move and flex with you or your business as things change, which is kind of what happens. You're never going to have a week that is always the same. You're never going to have a week that's perfect, especially if you're working as a virtual assistant or online business manager. Your clients are coming to you and saying, this is what I need, or this has changed. Can you please move to support? And that is your job, to get in there and to support them. So here's a different way of thinking about it. So again, we're going to have our week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if that is how you want to work. So instead of dividing this into client work, or instead of dividing this by type of work, we're going to do this instead. So we're going to look at this and go, what is my protected time? What do I want to make sure always happens? Now, if you are a parent and you have to take your children to school or pick them up from school, you might put a block every single morning and every single afternoon, and this is going to be school pickup and drop off. Okay, so you got that in there. Or maybe you really want to prioritize having lunch, because maybe you either skip that meal or you eat it at your desk and you're really like, I should not be doing this. So then you want to maybe block off a little half hour to an hour here in the afternoons for lunch. And then maybe, just maybe, you like having one morning where you don't work early or at your normal time. You want a bit more of a chill morning. Maybe you want to go to the gym or engage in your hobbies, or just like me, play video games in the morning and not worry about getting to my desk. So let's just say that's Wednesday mornings and you're just going to block it off as me time. So what this has done is it has left you with a bunch of other time blocks available. So essentially you have this block here, this block, this, here, here. If you really want to, it's these ones here and here. So now you have essentially, let's just say this block is 10 to 12. This block is, let's go 1 to 3. And this one is 4 to 5. If you wanted to do that. So essentially now I've created a bunch of different blocks because I've put in the boundaries of the things that I want to protect or the things that I must do. Now you're left with all these green blocks. A better way to do time blocking and time planning is make it Sunday night, Monday morning, whatever makes the most sense for you in your business, to sit down with your list for that week of your priorities and the things that you want to get done, and then look at your time blocks and say, where should I slot these in this week? So maybe I want to turn around and say, you know, based on, I have one client that's in a launch right now, so I think I want to make them the focus in that first block because I want to go through and make sure everything's working and no tech is broken and things are feeling good. Maybe I know that I need to get some admin work done because I owe my accountant some paperwork. So maybe I'm going to make this block my CEO time. Client number 2 or B, they're having like a normal week. So I think their stuff can wait until here. I also have meetings in here with client C. So I might move this around. So you're kind of using your time blocks as a framework to put in your priorities and your revenue generating works, your billable hours, or your sales activities. And the reason this is slightly different from the previous version is you've created the blocks. They still exist, but you've done it based on how you want to operate and how you want to need. And then you use those as a device to plop in different amounts of work. Now, could things still ebb and flow? Yes. Things could totally change. You could have something come up. Maybe your kid has to stay home from school on Thursday and you have to flip some things around. But the overall structure doesn't necessarily change. It just makes everything a touch bit cleaner. So that is my lesson for you on time blocking today. Drop your comments below. Let me know how it went. Does this work for you? Have you found a different way that you think is more effective for you? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Time is always fun. The thing is, we can't control time. We can control a little bit how we respond to time and how we make it work for us. So don't forget, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. There's more episodes from the Upshop Show coming up soon. I've been Nikki, your head operations ninja, and I will talk to you soon.